So this is quite important concept. Okay, you have to focus here only. So what is the servlet means? Suppose if we come here. So what is the servlet? Servlet is a server-side technology which is handle the client request, process the request, and generate the dynamic response. Okay, what is the servlet? Servlet is a server-side technology where it will be present on this server. It will be present. Okay, and what it will do? It will handle the client request. It will process the request and it will generate the dynamic response. What is meant by request and the response? Suppose I am asking something, suppose I am requesting something, that is only the request, right? Suppose I'm asking you, have you installed the Java EE or not? So I am sending the request to you. So in that request, what you will do, it will send a response to me like, yes, we have installed the Java EE successfully, right? That is called as the response, and whatever I am sending, that is called as the request. So what is here? That is the client. Okay, client is there. No, so simple. I will copy this one and will come to the print here. Here is the print here. Okay. So what is the definition of the servlet here? The servlet is a server-side technology which can handle the client request first, then process the request and generate the dynamic response. So what is the client here? Suppose if we are using the any PC and all, okay. Suppose this is my PC. Inside my PC, suppose I am using any browser. Suppose I am using any browser. The browser is nothing but the client. Okay, that browser is nothing but the client. Any browser, if you take like if you know any browser means Chrome browser, another browser you know, Google is not browser, but that is search engine. Firefox, yes, Opera. These all are the browsers. The browser is nothing but the client only. So what you will do? Suppose if you are entering any URL here. Suppose this is my, there is the URL bar. Inside that URL, suppose I am entering something. That is www.searchsoftware. Searchsoftware.com. So what it will do? I am sending the request to whom? That is the client. Okay. From here, this is the URL bar. This browser is nothing but our client. Okay. This browser is nothing but our client. And here one server will be present. Suppose any server we can take. So this is a server. All the things are deployed here only. Suppose we are sending the request, means we are typing www.searchsoftware.com. If I hit this one, so one page will be open, right? Suppose if you open the browser, inside the browser, if I hit www.search.com, so what it will be do? It will open one page, that is the searchsoftware.com. It will be open, right? If I write www.searchsoftware.co.in, if I hit this thing, so we will get some page, right? Home page we will get, or something page we will get it on the our browser. So that is called the response. Whatever things we are requesting, that is called as the request, and whatever thing we will get, like home page we will get or contact page we will get, that is called as the response only. Okay, that is called as the request. So I am sending the request from here, so it is processing the request now. After that, it will generate the response and it is giving the response to us. So this is our response we are getting. So this is the search site we are getting. So this is our response. We requested to the server that I want a search software homepage. So we are getting the homepage here. So same thing we are doing here also. Simple. When I am typing www.search.com. So what we are doing? We are sending the request to the server. Okay. We are sending request to the server. So this is our server. These are what? These are our server. Any server we can take inside. In our tutorial we are only learning the Tomcat server. So yesterday we installed the Tomcat server. So here we are learning the Tomcat server, and Tomcat server is the web server. Server have also two types: the web server as well as the application server. What is meant by server is simple a software or hardware that will accept the request and send the response to the client. Okay, what is the meaning of the server? So server is just a simple software, or we can say that is a hardware device which can accept the request and it will send the response to the client. Okay, that is the meaning of our server. Server have two types, that is the web server and another is the application server. If you talk about the web server, Apache Tomcat, Glassfish, Jetty, many types of server we have inside the web server. Okay? Inside the application server, JBoss, WebLogic, IBM WebSphere, these all are the application server. Remember one thing, application servers are more advanced than the web server. Okay, application servers are more advanced than the web server. So here we are using only one server, that is the Apache Tomcat, for executing any server. Okay, so there are many servlet is also server side technology. Like servlet, we have many server side technology like JSP, Spring or Spring Boot, Strut or JSF, PHP, Python. Sorry, PHP, Python. These all are the server side technology. Servlet is also server side technology. So what servlet will be do? Server is a server side technology which will send request to the which will handle the client request, which can process the request and generate the dynamic response. So where servlet will present? So servlet will present on the server because servlet is a server side technology. So where servlet will present? Here. Okay, on this server, servlet will be present. If I told you what are the things present inside this server, so these are all the things which are present on this server. Like many containers are present inside the server, like servlet container, JSP container, security container, WebSocket container, JNDI container, all the container which are all the container are present on this server. Suppose if you are sending the servlet request, according to the your request, that container will handle your request. Suppose you are sending a request in the form of servlet, so servlet container will handle that. Suppose you are sending the request of the JSP, so JSP container will handle that. Like that, according to your request, that container will handle your request. Suppose if we are sending the request from here, so what it will do? Simple, it will go from here on the server. It will this server no. What it will do? It will accept that request first. What it will do? Simply, it will accept that request. After that, it will process that request, and after processing that request, it will generate the response. What it will do? Whenever we send the request, it will accept the request first. After that, it will process that request, and after processing that request, it will generate a response. And after that, whatever response it is generated, it will send that response back to our client. Client means nothing but our browser. Okay, so that's why we are getting home page here. No, whatever we are writing here, we are getting on the our client. So the client means nothing but our browser only. Whenever you type search software.co.in, if we hit enter means we are sending request to our server. So after sending the request, what server will do? Server will accept that request, then process that request, then it will be generate that response, and after that, that same response it will send back to our client. Client means nothing but our browser. What is server? Server is just a software or hardware which can accept the request and it will generate the response and it will send back to our client. That is only meaning of this server. And inside the server, many containers are present like servlet container, JSP container, security, WebSocket container, or JNDI container. Server have also two types. There is the web server as well as their application server. Example of the web server is Apache Tomcat, Glassfish, JT. These all are the web server. And what is the application server? JBoss, WebLogic, IBM, and the WebSphere. IBM WebSphere. And here, remember one thing: application server is more advanced than the web server. And servlet is also a server side technology. Like that, we have many server side technology like JSP is a server side technology. Spring and Spring Boot are also server side technology. Struts, then JSF, PHP, and Python. These all are the server side technologies. Okay. Now, if you want to create any servlet and all, so first we need to configure that. Okay. So how to configure that? How to configure Eclipse to the Tomcat? So first thing we have to download the Eclipse. Yesterday I told you if you have Java EE in your Eclipse, that is also okay. If you don't have the Java EE, so you have to install that. So how to install? You have to first check that Java EE is installed in your PC or not. So simple, you can come here on the Windows, then perspective you have to check, open perspective, and here other you have to click. Here search that Java EE is present or not. For me, Java EE is there. Okay, so simple open on that. Select and open on that. So your Java EE perspective will be open. Here you can able to see server, data source explorer, markers, properties. Here all the things will be different. This interface is different than our Java interface. Here server and all is nothing, nothing will present. And here if you switch on the Java EE perspective, server and all will be present here. Okay, whatever we need for the web application, all the things will be present here only in this perspective. Okay, now if you don't have this Java EE, what we need to do? Simple, you can come here into the help, then install new software. Here you have to select release version. Any release version you can select. Suppose I am selecting this one. See here it will be take little bit time. If you don't have Java EE means that time only you have to do this step. Okay. If you have Java EE means you don't have to do this step. Okay. After here, web XML Java EE OSGI enterprise development is there now. Simply click on that and simply click on next button. So it will be installed in your laptop. Then after that, if you restart this Eclipse, this and check again Windows, then perspective, open perspective and other, the Java EE will be installed in your Eclipse as well. Okay. After that, after installing the Eclipse, what you need to do? Simply you have to download the Tomcat zip file. So yesterday we downloaded the zip file. How to download? Simple come here and here you can write download Tomcat server 9.0 download. You can download the higher version also, no worries. Okay. Simple you can select the first version, that is the tomcat.apache.org. Simple come here into this, and here you can download according to your system. You can download this one. If you are Windows, you can download from Windows only. So here my 64 bits I already downloaded the 64 bit Windows zip file. So here it is present inside the downloads. The zip file is present. So this is the zip file I have. So I have extracted this one. So we will get this file like that. See, this is the Apache Tomcat 9.0.7. If you unzip this file, you can get this file like that. Okay. Now we have downloaded the things like Eclipse also be downloaded. That is Java E install in your Eclipse, and after that Tomcat zip file also be downloaded. Now how to set the runtime environment to your Tomcat? Okay, so runtime environment of a Tomcat in your Eclipse. How to do that? So simply you have to come to Eclipse again. Simple click on the Windows, then click on the preference, Windows and the preference. Okay. After that, first you have to switch on the Java E. If you are not switch on the Java E, the server is not available here. Okay. If you are in Java E perspective, that time only the server will be visible here. Otherwise, it will not be visible here. Click on the server here. Drop down is there. Click on the drop down, and here runtime environment is there. Click on runtime environment. I have already added this. That is the server here. I am removing this one. Add, then which we are using, which server we are using, that is Apache. Which version you are using, that is the Tomcat 9.0. Then next, and select the file from here. So where you have downloaded, you have to select that. So I will come into the downloads, and this is the file we have extracted. Simply click on this one. Don't select bin here. Before bin only you have to select. Select folder and click on just finish here. Apply and close. Okay, so this thing we done. Now runtime environment is also set. Now add the server into the Eclipse. So how to add our server into Eclipse? Here one server tab is present. If it is not visible, suppose now I don't have the server tab, so how to see that? Simply click on Windows, show view, and come into the server tab. Here is the server tab. Click on this one. Here is the server tab. Click on this one. Again select select your server Apache, which is the version 9.0. Then next, then we don't have any, see, if you are selecting that one, your that is the server is already selected here, because we already set the runtime environment, no? So it is already selected here. Then next, we don't have any project, so project will not come here. After that, click on the finish. Now our server is also created. If you want to start or if you want to stop that, simple click on here. If you want to start from here, you can start it from here. Right click on the start, or either you can start it from the here as well. Okay, so if you click on here as well, so your server will start now. See, our server is started now. Now I want to check that in which port it is started. So simply here you can check HTTP new, that is the 8080. If you want to check the port of your server also, you can check. How? Simply double click on that, and here you can change the port from the here. The 8080 is there. Sometimes, yeah, our port is busy, so if you want to change this port, you can change it from here. This is the 8080. If you want to run this port in 8181 also, you can change it from here. It will be run on the 8181 as well. Any port you can give it here. Now our server is started or not. If you want to check that, what we need to do? Simple, we have to come here, localhost, then port number we have to run. On which port our server is started? 8080. So simple, you can write here 8080 and simple click on enter. Okay. If you are getting this like means your server is started. That is Apache Tomcat 9.0 version is saved means you are getting here. This your server is started. Suppose I stop the server here only. You can stop it from here. Okay, my server is stopped. If I refresh this page, okay, now see our server is not started here. Our server is stopped. That's why we are not getting the our page. That is Tomcat and all we are not getting here. Suppose if I start it again, see our server is started. If I refresh this page again, we are getting the same page here. If you are getting this page, means your server is started, your server is working very finely. But if you are not getting this page, means if you have some issues in your server. Now we have downloaded the Eclipse, we have downloaded the Tomcat zip file as well. We have set the runtime environment of our Tomcat in Eclipse as well, and we have added this server as well. Now how to create a web module project, how to create a servlet here. Okay, for that, before that, we have to create a one project, not the normal project. You have to create a new project here, that is new, and you have to select here dynamic web project. Okay, you need to select here, that is the dynamic web project here. Simply click on that. Okay, project name, anything you can give. Simple, I am giving here demo project name I am giving here. After that, server is already selected here. Don't need to nothing need to change anything. Simple, you click on next, then next, and this thing is mandatory. For now, you have to click on this one. That is a generate web.xml. There is a deployment descriptor. Okay, and click on finish again. Okay, so your dynamic web project is created here. See, this one is dynamic web project. Inside that, src main is there, java x web services is also there. Src main java means all the java files you can write it here. Library is there. Server, your server is present here. Deployment descriptor, I will tell you this later. The build file is also there, and src file is there. It's inside the src we have main. Inside the main we have java and web app. Inside the web app we have a meta inf and the web inf, and the file we have here, that is the deployment descriptor, that will be present here. That is the inside the web inf or web.xml file is present here. Okay, now if you want to create any html file and all, you can create in web app folder. How to create that? Simply right click on that web app, new, and here you can create any html file. Any file you can create. I am creating an html file. So index.html, if you are not writing also, it will be add automatically. Next, which html you want to use, which html version you want to use, you can use it here. Click on finish. Okay, so this html file is created here. So everyone have any everyone have the html knowledge little bit? Yes or no? Anyone is here who don't know? So see, I will tell you. Okay, okay, fine. Okay. See here, this is the HTML page we have created. Whatever we write inside the head, okay. For now, I'm telling in very short. Okay, whatever we write into the head, that will present here. That will present here. Okay, inside the head. Inside the head, we can provide many link tag and all many things we can provide here. In short, you can remember this thing only. Just whatever you write here inside the head, that will be present here inside the tab. Here. Okay. And whatever we write inside the body, that will come into our page. Like here, whatever we will write inside the body, it will become here. Now if I show you means, suppose if I want to give any title to that, simple you can give it here. Suppose I'm writing here demo page. Okay, so where it will be appear this demo page into the here. Okay, now if I want to show you something inside the html, we have a many heading tag. So suppose I'm using here h1 tag, h1 to h6 we have, no. So I'm using here h1 tag, and inside the h1 I'm writing here hello world only. Okay, okay, so simple, I have created the first project. Inside the project, I went into the src, then main, then web app. Inside the web app, I have created one file, that is the index.html, and inside the index.html, I simply wrote the title, that is the demo page, and after that inside the body, I created h1 tag, and I wrote there, that is the hello world. Now if I run this project, if I want to run this project, how to run that? Simple, right click on that, okay? Run as is there, then run on server. Server you have to select, this is the server we have created before. You can select here, always use this server when running this project. Okay, then next, We have our project is deployed here. See configure demo. Now click on finish. Our server is started now. Server will start, and after that our project will be open. It will take a little bit time. For me, it will take a little bit time because my laptop is slow. Till now, anyone have any doubt? Anyone have any doubt till now? No. HTML is done. Till now, I didn't tell the subject. Only I tell the definition and how it will be work. I tell only that thing. Huh? If you want to create a HTML servlet, for that we want one project. Inside the project, we want a HTML file. That's why I have created the HTML file here. And after that, we will create. After some time, we will create some. Yes, bro. We can create. Yeah. Which one? Graphics. Which graphics? Graphics I don't know. I'm running this again. Run as run on server. Select your file. Connect and finish. I think it is stuck. Wait a minute, I will start this one. Okay, so till now what we saw, that is the servlet. What is servlet? Servlet is a simple server side technology where it will be present on the server. Okay, on the server it will be present. What it will be do? Whenever we send the request, it will be come to the server. What server will do then? It will be accept that request. It will process that request. It will generate the response. And it will send that response back to our client. Okay, so this is request we are sending from here, right? This is the request we are sending from here, and we are sending back here from this. Okay, whatever page we can send, it will send either dynamic or the static also it will be sent. That is dynamic page. Any dynamic page we can it will be sent from the server to the client, or any static page it will be sent, like the HTML page also it will be sent from the server to the client. Okay, so our request will go like that, and our response will come like that. Okay, so here we have many container inside this that is the server, that is servlet container, JSP container, security container, web socket container, or the JNDI container. Suppose if you are sending the request of the servlet type, okay, we are sending the request to this servlet. So what it will be do? Here one container is present, here one container is present. Which container is present, which will handle this servlet container? Servlet container, what it will be do? It will see like which type of request is that. It will see like this type of request is that. After that it will be accept that request, then it will be process that request, then it will be generate the response. Where it will be happen these things, it will all the things will be happen into this servlet container, because we are sending the request to our servlet. Okay, we are sending the request to our servlet. Servlet container will handle that. Servlet container will see first which type of request is this. After that it will be accept that request, it will be then process that request, it will generate that response, it will send back to our client. It will be sent either dynamic, or it will be send the static response as well. But mainly servlet is used to generate the dynamic response only. Okay, mainly servlet why we are using, to generate the dynamic response. Okay, now our list is created now. Now if I run this one, so see server is created. Okay. So now if I want to run this done, simple, we have created the project inside the SRC, here main web app, and inside the web app I have created one file, that is the index.html. Inside the HTML file, simple, I have given one title, that is the demo page. Inside the body I have given one h1 tag, and I have wrote there, that is the hello world. Now if I run this one, From here, right click and then run as and run on server. See, our server is started. And what we are getting here? Hello world. Why we are getting? Whenever we start this server, it will directly come into the index.html file and it will open this index.html file. Suppose if I deleted this file, right click, and if I delete this file from here, so still our project will run or not? Our project will run or not? Run as then run on server. Lots of data is there. No? Hmm. Okay, so if we are deleting that file now, so it will not open the HTML file here. Our project will run, but it will not open the HTML file here. Some error will be getted here. Okay, there is error 404 or some error will be getted here. Okay, so it is not running now. We'll restart again. Okay, this time we can create the project. How to create a project? Simple. We have to create one project, that is a dynamic project you have to create. Inside that, what do you have to create? Inside the web app, you have to create one file, that is the index file you can create. And if you run that project, that index file will directly open. Okay, if you are not create that also, so what it will do? It will give one error, but our project will be run that the project will be run that time only. Okay, now we will move to the servlet. So what is servlet? Servlet is a server side technology. We know that, and where it is present on the server. And who will handle the request? That is the servlet container. If we are sending any servlet request, so it will servlet container will handle that request. Then it will be generate the response and it will send back to our it will send back to our client. Okay, then what are the ways to create a servlet? If you want to create, what are the ways to create a servlet? So we have three ways to create a servlet. First one is the servlet interface, then another one generic servlet class, and third one is the http servlet class. How many ways to create a servlet? There are three ways to create a servlet. First one is the servlet interface, second one generic servlet, and another one is the http servlet class. Only one is the interface here. Okay, generic servlet is already implemented the servlet interface. http servlet already extends the generic servlet, means whatever property this servlet interface have, that will come into the generic servlet, and whatever property this generic servlet have, that will that will directly come into the http servlet. If you are using servlet interface, what we have to do, all the life cycle methods which are present inside the servlet interface, that we have to override in your class. Suppose if you are writing like that, if you want to create a servlet with the help of servlet interface, so how to write? Suppose I have a class like public. Okay, suppose I have a class here, that is the public, then class we have here, that is the test name class I have. Okay, I want to create a servlet, so how we will create that? With the help of interface. See, first is the servlet interface. How to create that? First we need to implement the servlet. Implements, then here servlet. If you use this thing, what you need to do? Whatever methods, means whatever lifecycle methods is present inside the servlet interface, we have to override that all the methods every time. Very rarely we are using this case, that is the with the help of servlet interface. Okay. After that, generic servlet. Why we are using the generic servlet? When we want to create a protocol independent servlet. Protocol means like a rule to communicate with, means they are communicate with each other on the browser, on the server we can say that. So this is called as the protocol independent servlet. If you want to create a protocol independent servlet which have we and don't want a request object also, and you don't want the response object as well, so that time you can create a servlet with the help of generic servlet class. After that, http servlet. When if you when we have to use this method, when we have to use this class, it is used when we want a http specific method, like a get method we want, like head method, post method, put method, or delete method, like many methods we have is the http specific method, many methods we have. So if you want that method, that you can simply use the http servlet method. Many times we want only this http specific method, like a get method or a head method, post method, put method, delete method. So most of the time we are using the only one type of way, that is the class. With the help of http servlet class, we are creating the servlet. Okay, why we are using the HTTP servlet? Whatever method is present here, that will come here into the generic servlet, and whatever method is present here, that will be indirectly come into the HTTP servlet. So this is the best way to create a servlet, that is the HTTP servlet, because all the methods of the servlet and all the methods of the generic servlet will come here, and all the HTTP specific methods, if you want, that methods also present here inside the HTTP servlet method. This is the best way to create a servlet, and most of the times we are using the HTTP servlet, HTTP servlet class only to create a servlet. Okay, if you use generic servlet means here get method is not there, post method is not there, this HTTP specific method is not there. Only service method is there only. So that's why we are not averaging many times the generic servlet. We are using only the HTTP servlet, and this is the disadvantage of our generic servlet because it don't have any HTTP specific method. So that's why we are not using the generic servlet. And what is the disadvantage of this servlet interface? If you are creating with the help of servlet interface, so we have to override all the methods which are present inside the servlet interface. If I show you means this is open or not? Yes, it is open. See how to create a servlet, I tell you. It is easy only. Simple, inside the SRC folder, you have to create a package. Like till now we have created the package and classes. No, same like that here also we have to create a package. So I will create a package here, like servlet com dot servlet example. Any name you can give. Okay, examples I have created. Okay, inside the package you can create your class, same like we are doing now every time. Like we are creating first package, and after that we are creating a class. Inside the package I will create one class here, like new and the class. Okay, and here you can create any name class, any, you can give any name to the class. Suppose I am giving here, this is test servlet, giving simple name to the class. This is the only name. Okay, so this class will be created here. So there are, if you want to create a project, there are three ways. First way is the, that is the servlet interface. So I will create a servlet with the help of servlet interface implements. Then we have to create a servlet. If you write like that, so we have to override all the methods which are present inside this servlet interface. If you want to see that which are the methods which are present inside the servlet interface, just right click on that and open declaration. So these are all the methods. It will not look like that thing like we saw before. No, it will not look like that one. But here many methods are present, like a service method is also, service method is there. Then get servlet config method is there. Then servlet config method is there, and after that get servlet info is also there, and destroy method is also there. Okay, many methods are present. Like first method is present here, first method is present here, that is the init method. Sorry, init method is present there. After that get servlet config, then service method is also there, and after that get servlet info and destroy. Five methods is present here inside the servlet interface. If you want to use this way to create a servlet, you have to override that all the methods, right? We saw inside the interface add unimplement method. So we have to override this all the methods every time. If you want to create a servlet with the help of servlet interface, you have to override this method all the time. So it is quite hectic, right? We can't override these five methods every time. It's quite hectic. So that time, that's why we are not using this way, that is the servlet interface. We are very rarely we are using this way. Another way to create a servlet is that, that is the generic servlet. So simple, I will come here and I will write generic servlet. The generic servlet is a class or interface? Class. So how to inherit that? Extends, then generic servlet. Okay, generic servlet internally implements the, which one? Generic servlet is internally implementing the servlet interface. See here, this is the class. Where is the class here? It is, wait a minute, public class generic servlet. See, this is the generic servlet implements the Java servlet dot servlet interface. Okay, so this is the interface. It is internally implements. Okay, and whatever methods it have, that is this inside the servlet, like init method, like a destroy method, it will be already overridden. Just one method we have to override here, that is the service method. See, if I run this one, so service method only we have to override here. But here we don't have the request and the response object, and we don't have the HTTP specific method like a head method or get method or post method. We don't have here. So for that we are not using this way. It is the generic servlet method. This is the big disadvantage, because many times we want this HTTP specific method like a get method, we want post method we want. That method is not present inside the generic servlet. That's why we are not using this generic servlet. Okay. Now another way is the HTTP servlet. So simple HTTP servlet. So here all the things are present like HTTP servlet inside this one. All the things are present like HTTP specific methods are present. Then servlet methods is also present inside the HTTP servlet. Generic methods are also present inside the HTTP servlet. Which way is better? That is the HTTP servlet. Here, if you want to use anything, you can use anything. Suppose if I want to use method, that is do get. Simple, I can use do get method here. If you do get method, see it will be handled that request of the gateway. Get request, it will be handled. Don't need to recognize that thing. Simply you can remember this thing. If you want to create a servlet, first thing you have to extend the any class you can extend or any interface you can extend. We have three ways, no? Servlet interface, generic servlet class, and HTTP servlet class. If you want to create a servlet, you can implement this one, or you can extend this one, or you can extend this one. So I have extend this one, and you can use any method from that. If you are using this servlet interface, you have to override all five methods like init method, destroy method, service method, get servlet info, and get servlet config method. All we have to override into the servlet interface. The generic servlet, if you want protocol independent servlet, that time we are using the generic servlet. But here HTTP specific methods are not present like get method or post method. That method are not present. And request and response object is also not present inside the generic servlet. So that's why we are using the third way. The HTTP servlet method. Here all the things are present like servlet method is also present here. Generic servlet method is also present here. And HTTP specific method like get method, head method, post, delete. All the methods are present inside the HTTP servlet method. Simply I have extends that and one method I am overriding here. That is do get method I have overridden here. Okay, simple. It will throw one exception, throw two exception. That is the servlet exception as well as the IO exception. After that, here if I want to write anything, you can write it here. System.out and here you can write anything like that. Whenever this servlet will be start, hello will be print on the console. Okay, this type we can create a servlet. Easy only, easy or hard? Easy. This type only we can create a servlet. So if this servlet will work, this hello will be print on the console. Now, but if I run this one from here, or if I run this one from here, right click, run on the server. So can it will be work? Yes. So what it is saying is the 404 not found, and anything we are printing on the console, we are saying no. Whenever this servlet will be work, that time hello will be print on the console. So hello is printing on the console. No, right? Means our servlet is not working here. So for that, what we need to do? Simple, we have to come here, src main and the wayback. Why our server is not working? Because our request is not mapped with our servlet. Our request is not mapped with our servlet. That's why our servlet is not working. So how to map that? Simple, we have to come here into the web.xml file here, and we have to map our request with our servlet. So how to map that? Simply you have to delete these things from here. We don't want like this one. Simply you have to keep this file only, that is the web app. Web app tag only you have to keep. And here we have to map our servlet. For that, you have to write some tag. First tag you have to write, that is the servlet mapping tag. Okay, servlet mapping tag you have to use first. Okay, after that, if you want to run any servlet, you want some URL, right? If you want to run any servlet, you want some URL. Here we will write one, that is the tag, that is the URL pattern. Inside that you can give any URL pattern. URL pattern you can give the slash. Suppose I am giving here triple A. So this is my URL pattern. Whenever I hit this, I will map this URL with the our servlet. Now I have declared the URL pattern. Now how to map with our servlet? So for that, in this tag only, we have to write here another tag, that is the servlet. Okay, and simple I am writing this time, that is the first. Okay, so what I did? Simple, I have wrote one tag, that is the servlet mapping. I have opened here and I have closed here. Okay. After that, inside that tag, I have created two tags. There is servlet, there is URL pattern. Inside the URL pattern, I have wrote one URL, and after that servlet name I have given. Okay. So this is done. Servlet mapping tag is done. Now another thing is that how to map this that is the whatever URL we have given. How to map this URL with our servlet. So for that, we have to declare another tag here. that is the servlet tag. Okay, servlet tag also we have to declare here. Now inside this servlet tag we have to declare the another tag here, that is the same tag we have declared there. No, same tag here we have to declare, that is the servlet name. We have here also, right? We have here also servlet name, here also servlet name. Here which name we have to give? Whatever name we have given here, same name we have to copy from here and you have to paste it here. Okay, now whenever this URL will be hit, it will look what is the servlet name. This is the first name of our servlet. It will see this first into our servlet tag. So where is the first? So here is the servlet name, that is the first. After that, now servlet we want to run. So how we will run that? So servlet class tag we have to write here. Inside the servlet class, how to write your servlet? Simple, come to your servlet, which servlet you have created, that is test servlet we have created. With the package name, we have to write the class name. So what is the package name? com.servlet example. Simple, I will copy this thing. Web.xml is here. Paste this thing. Okay. Again dot, and you have to write here the class name. So what is the class name? Test servlet. So here I like test servlet. Now we map our servlet with our request, right? Now successfully we map our servlet with our request. Okay. Now if I come here, right click here, run as, and run on server, can it will be work now? So anything we are getting here, but if you come into the console, so we are getting hello on the console. In this time our servlet is working. Why our servlet is working? See here, which URL is coming here? Slash triple A. Where is our slash triple A? Come here into the web.xml file. Where is our slash A? This is our URL pattern. So it will look which what is the servlet name here. So what is the servlet name? First. So it will look first into the servlet tag. So where is the servlet tag? Here is the servlet tag. It will look first. Where is the first? Here is the first. It will come here into the first. And after that, it will see which class we have to execute. So this is the package. It will go into the package com.servlet example. So where is our package? Here is our package com.servlet example. Inside that, it will look for the test servlet class. So where is our test servlet class? Here is our test servlet class. And whatever we wrote here, it will execute that. So what we wrote here, that is system.out.println hello. It will print hello on the console. Now we are printing here only. If I want to print on anything on the browser, we are simply write, if you want to print anything on the console, so what we are writing, system.out.println on the system.out.println we are writing. So anything we will write here, that will printing on the console. Now if you want to print anything on the browser, so how we will print that? So for that we have one object we have to create. So for that we have to use this object, that is the response object. We have here two objects, no, request and the response. So simple, you can use this response object. Response object have one method, that is the get writer. Okay, response have one method, that is the get writer, that will return the object of our print writer. Okay, that will return one object, that is the print writer. And with the help of this print writer object, you can write anything on your web browser. Suppose I want to write anything, means how we will write pw dot print, you can write, or you can use write also. Okay, suppose I want to write anything, hello world. Okay. If I write like that, hello world, or you can, it will become this, right? If I write simple here, that is the servlet, servlet example, I will write simple here. Okay, examples. Okay, servlet example. Now if I run this one, so what will happen? If I run this servlet examples will print on the console, print on the browser first, and after that this hello will also print on the console. Now if I run this one, come here, run as, run on the server. Okay, so see what we are getting here, servlet examples. Means if you want to print on the browser, how we have, if you want to print, how we will do that? Response have one method, that is the get writer method, that will return one object of the print writer. With the help of this print writer object, we can anything print or anything we can write on the our web browser. And if you want to print anything on the console, means how we will write, system.out.println. If you write like that anything, it will be print on the console. Okay, so this type we can create a servlet. Easy only? Easy or hard? Easy only, no? Okay. Now here we have created the index file as well, right? If I run this one now, see we have deleted, and if I run this one from now, so it will be run or not. See, run on the server. It will not give you anything. But our servlet is running. See, if I want to run our servlet, what we need to do? We have to give the URL. So what is the URL of our servlet here? See, .xml is the triple A. With the help of project name, we have to write. So this is the project name here, and with the help of that project name, we have to write our. There is the URL triple A. If I click on this one, the servlet is working. Okay. After running, if you want to show anything, simple you can create one file here. That file name is a inside the web app. You can create any file. There is the HTML file. I will create HTML file index.html. Then I will click on next. Then finish. And here if I write anything inside the head, if I write anything means that will come into this head. So now it is showing localhost 8080, right? If I write anything like demo page, okay, inside the body if I write anything is the search software solution. Okay, if I now run this one, run on server, save, what we are getting here, search software solution, and see here what we are getting, demo page means whatever we are writing here inside the head, so that will come here, and whatever we are writing inside the body, that will become here this page. So this type we can create a servlet. How many ways to create a servlet? Three ways. First one is the servlet interface, another way,
Generate servlet class,
and another one HTTP
HTTP
servlet.
servlet
Why
class.
we are not using the servlet interface?
Because we want to override the
We have to override all the life cycle
Life
methods.
cycles matters.
If we are when we will use the generic servlet,
if you want protocol.
when we want a protocol independent servlet, and we don't want the request and the response object also, that time we can use generic servlet. And HTTP servlet when we will use, when we want the HTTP specific method, that time we are simply using the HTTP servlet method. Okay, HTTP servlet class we can use it here. Okay, so this type we can create a servlet. Okay, can you able to create this one? Yes or no? Easy only, no? Simple you can extend here any class or any interface. After override any method, and simple you can write it anything. That's it. Servlet. Servlet class is created. Now map your request with your servlet with the help of web.xml file. Here what we need to do? Simple first we need to write, that is a servlet mapping. Inside the web app only, okay? Inside the web app only you have to write. Otherwise it will give you the error. Servlet mapping tag you have to use open close. Inside this one you have to write servlet name, and after that URL pattern we have to write. Okay, after that another tag you have to write, that is this servlet tag. That is servlet tag you have to write another two tag, servlet name and the servlet class. Whatever name servlet name we are giving here, same name you have to give here as well. Okay, and after that with the help of this name, which class we want to execute, you have to write this class here with the help of package name. Okay, with the package name you have to write that class. That is first I'm writing here package, and after that I'm writing here class. Whenever this URL will be open, so that time it will see the servlet name. It will find this servlet name inside the servlet tag. Here is the class name, here is the servlet name here first. So it will see which class we have to execute. So this class we have to execute as a test servlet. It will come here and it will be execute this servlet. Okay, so this type you have to create a servlet. Okay, so try to create a servlet. If you are facing any issues, you can